All right, 60 minutes before the top of the hour. A closed-door briefing is set to take place on Capitol Hill today as lawmakers demand more answers surrounding Army Sergeant Bowe Bergdahl's release. Our next guest will be attending that meeting, and he has some questions. Illinois Congressman and Iraq and Afghanistan war veteran, Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Welcome back, Congressman.
Hey, thanks. Good to be here.
Appreciate you joining us. Let's tap into your knowledge as a lawmaker and as a military guy. What questions do you have?
I've got a lot of questions. You know, first and foremost, I spent all week listening to the administration say, you know, we're a country that never leaves their people behind. We'll never leave you behind. That's all well and good, except, you know, when I went through survival training, we talked about the issue of being left behind. It was pretty much an understanding that as long as you don't leave your country behind, your country will never leave you behind. So that said, you know, we all know the questions around Bowe Bergdahl and the deserter status. Why was it important to release 5 of the highest-ranking opposition and Taliban in order to get his release? What were you trying to accomplish? Why did all of the intel community basically say no, and why were they not consulted? I mean, there's a range of questions that exist here, of which I think we need a lot of answers to. And so, you know, one thing I actually have to ask, too, did they get assurance from the Taliban and from al-Qaeda that the war on terror was over? Because they're sure moving as if the war's over and in 2017 we're all going to hold hands and everybody's going to want to hold hands with us, and that's just not the case.
I'm going to paraphrase because I don't want to take up your time with a long soundbite because John Kerry tends to repeat himself. But he says essentially don't worry about it if they go back to the fight, because we're leaving. We're going to have 5,000, and then we're going to have nobody there. But is he missing the point? Didn't you guys fight for the right to get rid of the Taliban and put a representative government in place so that does not have an adherence to al-Qaeda? Does that matter at all, whether we're there or not?
How many troops did we have in Afghanistan on September 11th, 2001? We didn't have any. And what happened is, look, as much as we like to think, again, that the world just wants to sit around with us and sing Kumbaya, the truth is there are people that wake up every day whose intention is to try to kill Americans. And the reason it hasn't happened, knock on wood, in the last number of years is because we've been fighting the terrorists in their holes where they exist. When we talk about leaving Afghanistan, and, you know, the administration brags, in essence, about ending 2 wars instead of what it means for national security, this is going to come back on our shores. And, you know, we're going to rue the day that we made the decision that the war on terror is over, because they don't think it's over yet.
Congressman, as you know, Massoud was the leader of the Northern Alliance, and this guy seemed to be the next leader if we were to go in and help out and get rid of the Taliban. He was set to take over. Bin Laden knew that. They kill him before they take down our towers. Abdullah is somebody else that worked with Massoud. He's about to take over. Guess what they tried to do over the weekend? Kill him before he can take over.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, this is a serious situation, and look, I don't understand why the president said we have to be out in 2017. If killing and capturing al-Qaeda is a good mission in 2016, it should be a good mission in 2017. And we're sending all the wrong messages that we're in a hurry to get out. We'll give the Taliban whatever they want to get somebody who's a deserter back. This hurts my heart because there's a lot of people that have given so much on behalf of their country in Afghanistan and Iraq to have a president that's more interested in having, you know, a legend of ending 2 wars instead of what's good for this country.
Well, it's just amazing. Did we compromise the mission for one person, whether he's the best soldier or the worst soldier? Does that not matter? You just put the 5 members of the War Council for Mullah Omar back in action, if not now, in a year or so.
And they're going to go back, even when they end up in Afghanistan, they're going to go back with legendary status as the survivors of Gitmo, and they're going to lead troops into combat against American troops, yes, but also against the Afghan people, the 350,000 Afghan soldiers that are armed and taking it to the Taliban every day and to al-Qaeda every day. And the Afghan people, 85% of which reject the ideology of the Taliban and support the United States of America. They now have their 5 worst enemies right there again.
Congressman, I look to talk to you again in the aftermath of the meeting today and the briefing, and say what you can. Thanks so much. Appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you.